Good morning, guys. So today, I just want you to have a look at this. These are 10 cryptocurrencies which are, I mean, apart from the Bitcoin. These are 10 coins which are performing well. And I have sorted it out, and I tried understanding the underlying technology and the point to consider before investing into these currencies. So I would sharing that. But before that, as we have almost 1,300 currencies, crypto coins, these currently in the market. Currently in the market. So out of these 1,300, and these 10, uh, in my view, it seems and they have brighter future. So I thought of investigating deep into all these things because uh, out of 1,300, taking up only 10 or taking up small little numbers out of 1,300 was a required me to investigate um, so many things and from so many different perspectives. So out of those 1,300, after putting my brain and after give after proper investigation, I came to this conclusion that these are the 10 coins which I will be looking after in year 2018, and that too from investment point of view. So their future seems looks bright. So I hope you have jotted it down, or I, I'm showing it for you again. So if you need certain some if you want to go deep into that, because so you can Google it. But for now, I mean, I want you to keep these coins in mind if you are interested in investing cryptocurrencies. Okay. So when I have my 10 coins with me, and I have prepared my mind, I have made up my mind that okay, these are the 10 picks of mine out of those 1,300. So from investment and from return point, ROI point of view, what all other things which I will be looking at before before investing any amount in any of them. So now, I mean, coming to the basics, as we are discussing blockchain, underlying blockchain, and blockchain, uh, every currency, whatever I have listed down, or for that matter, all the currencies which have been built on top of that blockchain technology. That's the very first point that we need to keep in mind. So underlying technology is blockchain technology, and as I discussed earlier, I mean, in one of the video of yesterday, that the technology, blockchain technology, has a promising future, and people from all quarter of life, all walk of life, they have their trust in that blockchain technology. That because that is an innovation, and so there is no doubt that blockchain technology has a promising future, and it has potential to change many things which we are used to for last 200 years, used to use. So it has potential. The effect will be that will be visible in coming future. So now, as I said that these are the currencies. So look, just to start with, from the very, just to start with, if you remember that I had discussed that in Bitcoin, when we were discussing Bitcoin, then at that point of time, we were saying, I was saying that there was certain problem. There are certain problems in existing in initial blockchain, in initial Bitcoin blockchain protocol. So people had started right from people have started uh, tweaking all those problems or rectifying all those problems. Like, just for the sake of example, there are many problems, but just for the sake of simplifying that, just say that transaction processing time, how soon your transaction uh, be will be processed by your system. So from users' point of view, that is the one thing. Their users are not bothered about what is the underlying technology and how the system is working. All they are concerned about is how fast the system is performing their desired task. So in terms of blockchain technology, where these blocks on the network contains either smart contracts or transaction details, so the like okay, in case of transaction, so from user's perspective, from if I'm going to operate on that blockchain technology, blockchain network, so what all I need is that verified and fast transaction. But as we know that Bitcoin, when it comes to speed of processing that all those transactions, uh, the time is high. The Bitcoin blockchain protocol takes comparatively more time in processing all those transactions. It requires almost 10 minutes to process any transaction because of rearrangement all the nodes lying on the network. So how to reduce that? How to reduce that time taken in processing that transaction? So Ether. So what Ether? The people from Ether, that Ethereum platform was made for that. They optimized that. They removed all those problems which was causing, which was there in Bitcoin blockchain protocol, and which because of that and they were that protocol of blockchain underlying blockchain was taking 10 minutes just for the sake of understanding 10 minutes just say 10 minutes processing that request. So how to bring it down to a minute, 1 minute. So Ethereum focused on that. The team from Ethereum, uh, they focused on that portion. When I'm saying that portion means I'm having I'm having of the view that this exists in the initial blockchain protocol had numerous problems. When I'm saying problem is when I'm comparing that technology with the other technology which is used for making any real world application, and the technologies which are available and which are used by bigger corporations, and many complex applications are running on that. So Ethereum, the guys from Ethereum team, they focused on that portion, how to reduce the transaction processing time plus the cost of transaction. Even the cost was very high comparatively. Again, I'm saying I will not be giving you number that what was the cost. I'm not here. I will not be giving you the number because I have never transacted that way in future. But the time I can talk about time. That time was quite high. Processing time, transaction processing time, plus that cost of transaction was high. So the idea was to reduce that. So Ethereum team, they focused on that and they brought it down to some extent. So comparatively, Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. Ethereum blockchain protocol is better than. When I'm saying this, mind my words. Ethereum blockchain protocol. I'm going word by word. Ethereum blockchain protocol is better than Bitcoin blockchain protocol in one sense that it's Ethereum's transaction processing time plus transaction cost is lower than what Bitcoin blockchain protocol has. Okay, so now Ethereum focused on one of the problems in the existing system, in the initial system rather I will say, in the initial system, and they built that platform on top of that, and they rectified that problem, or they reduced the time of transaction processing time. Uh, so now what happened? So now applications, real world applications, or the organization or the individual who are running some kind of some businesses which requires lesser the transaction TPS transaction processing time. So what they did, and and the businesses which are inclined towards blockchain technology. So what they thought of, no, I will not go for that Bitcoin blockchain protocol. I will go for Ethereum because that is more optimized for what? For processing your transaction, where the time is reduced, plus the cost of transaction is reduced. So they section of people who are having trouble processing, trouble optimizing, trouble bringing down that transaction processing time using Bitcoin blockchain protocol, they switch to Ethereum, right? So Ethereum focused on one of the problem and they rectified that problem. Now people started working on that, started using that. So so at the time when they that optimize that initial blockchain protocol and and rectified the transaction processing time, uh, so and they provided the platform. So on top of that platform, they introduced one other coin which was named Ether that was specially designed for that Ethereum platform. So people having such kind of requirement, who requires businesses rather I will say businesses which requires blockchain technology, like requires to use blockchain technology plus that the transaction time, lesser transaction time, then they switch to Ethereum platform. So when people started switching to, I mean the business, when the section of people or the group of people from all across the globe, when they started using Ethereum as a platform to build applications which are time consuming as far as transaction is concerned, then what happened in turn, what happened from investment point of view, that's very necessary to understand because you invest in a system, you invest in certain things which have brighter future. Then how do you decide how do you decide anyone's future? Then how it means how that application or how that human being is developed, and who is the person who is running who has developed that application. So that trust and confidence is very much required. So these things, if people start using all those new platforms, so that fetches trust from other section of people, from other section also. So in turn, what happened? The value of Ether started going up. Now, from investment point of view, the value of Ether started going up. So that's how I mean every exchange or everything works. It's a market value, and a market value, and when it comes to market value, then it's very volatile. It's very volatile. Any market, in any market. So it's very volatile, and many factors, economical, financial, technical, many factors are government policies, many factors which comes into play uh, while uh, while deciding any commodities or any items value, market value. So this is the case with Ethereum. Now, look, my intention is not to. In the very beginning, I had showed you all these 10 coins to look after, and again I'm repeating that thing. Don't trust my words. That's my understanding. I am going to look after all these 10, but what you will be looking after is up to you to decide. You Google it out. You do your research. So again, I'm saying that don't trust my words, or for that matter, anyone's word on internet, because they all have different perceptions, all have different views. So do your research before investing in anything. So now Ether, the value of Ether started going up. So that is one way of that is similarly there are other problems. In the very beginning, I had told you that there were problems. Not the problems, I will say that there were certain things which were missed out. Maybe because they were at that time preferences was given to someone something else. Okay, now second example. So one of the coin crypto coin is named Ripple. So how and that coin that Ripple, what from performance point of view or from optimization point of view uh, of the initial blockchain protocol, what those cryptocurrencies, Ripple is used mainly by banks. They have started using Ripple as a currency for transaction or for trade. As we know that banks have multiple operations, they operate, they have multiple operations. One of the operation or one of the service, I will say service, bank provides many different kind of services to its customers. So one of the services that international transfer of funds. When you transfer some amount from one country to another, then there are many things which come into that picture. So there are many complexities which are there in our existing system, but at this point of time we do not need to get deep into that. But there are processes for international transaction, for exchange of currency within two countries. So in the existing system, they figured out certain problems. Again, I mean, I'm repeating, everyone is impressed by this underlying blockchain technology. So what they did, that team, what they did, they optimized, they tweaked, or they tweaked this initial blockchain protocol in a way which not only eliminates, or which not only removes the existing problem of any banking system, of today's banking system, for international exchange of currencies. So they had picked up one of the service, one of the service of banking sector, and they observed that that is not they this existing system has some problems. They eliminated those problems, and using that underlying blockchain protocol, initial blockchain, they tweaked that and sold it to banking sector. I came back to banking sector again with this newer system. Banks found that yes, this system, the proposed system is far better than the existing system, and since they had trust in underlying blockchain technology, so they were ready, or they are ready now. They are ready to replace their existing transaction international exchange system with the newer international exchange system provided by Ripple. So Ethereum guys, what they did, they optimized the initial blockchain protocol for keeping transaction time in mind. They sold it to those companies and those businesses which requires faster transaction time. They started using that. Similarly, in the case of Ripple, they picked up one service of existing banking system. They optimized that. I mean, they removed the problems, existing problems, or I will not say problems. I will not say problems. There is no problem. There was no problem. The complexity of the existing problem for doing that particular task, and the task was exchange of money between two countries. So they focused on that, and they on top of that they provided that this currency named Ripple. So that section of the business, means banking sector, they started using Ripple as their currency for exchange, for international exchange. Similarly, why I'm talking about this? This makes you feel that okay, why why so many coins? Why so many coins? That's a very valid question. Why so many coins? Approximately 30 million coins are there. Why not only one Bitcoin? Then why the answer lies here? Why? Because every coin, or for that matter, every underlying platform, on top of that, the respective coins are built. They are solving one particular business task, which is there in the problem is there in our existing system, and even those sectors are fed up with that, and they want to get rid of that. And these guys, these crypto coins, are providing them a solution. So they are ready to use that. So when people start showing interest in you, then your values, your market value automatically goes up. The same thing is happening here, and it is true for rest of the coins as well. They are tweaking that initial blockchain protocol for their respective need, and need they are finding from the market, from the businesses. They are exploring businesses. They are going to business houses, and they are asking them their problems in their existing system. Similarly, I will not. There is a term which is in smart contract. It's a contract. A contract we are all are aware of. It's a mutual agreement between two parties, right? So smart means that there are not two parties, and there are some computer programs. So the smart contracts are computer programs which are self-managed. All the logic of the that contract is inside that, and no one can change that. It's immutable. No one can change that contract. So if that so smart contract. So like the government agencies. Again, I mean, yesterday also I was talking about that the underlying blockchain technology is picking up. The people are from all walk of life. They have start showing interest in that. So now government agencies for their contracts, for their many government contracts, they are showing their interest to use this blockchain technology. Now one of the other coin, think the name of which is IOTA. So it is said that this is Bitcoin for mm, mm, it is a bit kind of a Bitcoin for machine to machine interaction, or machine to machine, not machine to machine interaction, for machine to machine that payment. And it's a kind of it's a kind of crypto coin, especially meant and especially designed for robots. So that and IOTA is one of the currency, one of the cryptocurrency, and the purpose, the underlying business purpose which it is catering to is machine to machine payment. So if just assume that how things will be, if in future, if, we all know that, okay, that we means human being, we are working on artificial intelligence. We are trying to make this machine, this computer, as a, I mean, we were trying to give them wisdom, or give them the power to think like human. We are working on that. So we are working on that. So if that, if in future, if 5 years later, if you come across a situation where there are machines who are interact, I mean, even today the machine to machine, you can transfer the funds using machines. So for all those transactions where no human interaction is required, right? Today, if you're sending some money from your mobile, then you cannot say that your mobile is directly sending your money from, because you are giving that mobile an instruction what to do, how much amount to send. So you are instructing that machine or the hardware. But there are situations where one device is without your intervention. Without your intervention means without humans intervention, that machine interacts with other machine over internet or over any other network. So for those kind of transactions, or for those kind of specific needs, this IOTA was created. So if in future, 5 years down the line, if that robots and machines become cheaper and becomes available to masses, then what will happen? Of course, yes, the value of IOTA will go up. It's common sense. So people, now my point is here that the reason behind why we have 1300 and that number 1300 crypto coins available in the market, and the number is growing day by day, every day, because people are seeing some future. One most important thing is that everyone has belief and faith in underlying blockchain technology. That is the backbone. That is the backbone. They have belief. They have trust in that. So they are figuring out problem areas in our existing society, in our existing businesses, everywhere. And now they now finding the problem and providing the solution using this blockchain technology is what is responsible for increasing number of crypto coins in our world. And of course, they are doing not doing for charity. They are earning money out of that. But the thought process is this: they found this blockchain technology interesting, since it was an open source, so anyone can use that. Anyone can tweak that code. Second thing, there is no investment which is required to buy the source code. Second thing. Third thing, we have problems in our existing system. Of course, I mean, and there's no problem. I do not find any problem in figuring out that, in saying that we have problems. Yes, we have problems. Accept it. So what? We have problems. We will rectify that. So for rectifying that problem, these things, blockchain technology came into picture. Now, since people have started showing their interest and trust in that technology because of its robust features, they started picking up all those problems, societal problems, financial problems, business problem, or a problem from any walk of life, and they started thinking of resolving that problem using underlying blockchain technology. That's the crux of this story, crux of everything. That in nutshell we can say that, and this is the thing, and because now from economical yes, that's the point. Everything is revolving around this line only, and because of this, because of what is happening, the one who is okay, just I rephrase that by saying this way. Okay, so now we are living in a world, where there are a hell lot of problems. The complexity of the problem varies, right? One is more complex than other. So now, mind me what, and one coin or one crypto coin which is solving more complex problem, the value of market value of which will go, of course, is higher than the one who is competitive. I mean, it's competitive. If the crypto coin solves that more complex problem than some other one, then of course the value will go up, or value will be higher than its counterpart, which is solving lesser complex problem. So that's the whole story. So before, yes, now from investment point of view, that is the story. That is the fact. A problem could be anything. Problem could be anything. I mean, it could be economical problem. It could be a problem from finance sector. It could be a problem from education sector, or it could be a problem from airline sector. Problem could be it could be our societal problem in our society, or it could be our problem faced by government, or during elections, during voting. So problems are everywhere. Now everyone is trying to resolve those problems using blockchain technology, and that shows that how robust or how innovative that idea was by Mr. Satoshi. So and so when you talk about cryptocurrencies, mm, cryptocurrencies, then these things you need to consider. What is the idea behind this? Why they are introducing one new currency? What problem? What real world problem they are trying to solve? What the real world problem, plus what is the existing? What is the problem which is there in existing Bitcoin blockchain protocol which they are proposing to solve? So these 2 points need to be considered first thing, just to start with. That should be our starting point. That should be our starting point. If we are thinking of analyzing values of any crypto coin, so that's the starting point. Now, as I said, that okay, problem could be from any walk of life. It could be from finance sector, it could be from IT sector, it could be from any sector. So now, when it comes to crypto coin, investment in crypto coin, then you need to consider second thing. You need to consider, once you have this data, that okay, this coin is written or is developed or built to solve this XYG business problem, and business problem from this ABC industry. So you need to understand that industry as well, how that industry is working, how that industry is, performing in, 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 in their respective exchanges. So you need to know about that industry as well. That is the second point. Second step. You need to take a small little steps, baby steps, to reach to a conclusion. I will say that never jump to any conclusion. You require small little steps, one by one. So that's the second step, in my view. That understanding that industry, understanding that business sector, whose problem this currency is solving or claiming to solve. So now once that is figured out, that okay, problem area and the industry, the third point should be how that industry is performing. And again, now how that industry is performing, and look, nothing comes free in this world. You have to pay for everything. So if that, just imagine, that could be a valid point to ponder before investing. That if you have figured out the problem area, second thing which you have figured out that the industry which uh, the problem which this coin is solving, and now since the solution provider will not be selling its product or service free of cost. So what is the price of that solution, rather cost of that solution? Are we in a industry, or are we in a sector where many a person or many a players from that sector, are they rich enough to buy that solution? So cost effectiveness is also, I mean, whether people are there to buy that product or not. But no, not I will not say product. I will say that solution or not. I have problem. I know that there is a solution of that problem, but my pocket doesn't allow that. My pocket is not allowing me to buy that. That is because that solution is not free. So people from that, and whether we have enough money to purchase that solution. That would be a third point of consideration before investing into that. So I'm giving you example just for sake of understanding. There are numerous regions. You can see at things from different perspectives, and if you start thinking, start seeing, looking at things from different perspectives, you will have better idea of how things are, and better idea in the sense now then you can predict the future. Otherwise, you cannot. So trading or investing in exchanges, in my view, does require ability to predict the future. If you have ability, then only you should go in there. If you do not do your research, then never go in there. That's very volatile and it's a very sensitive thing. You can be the richest person of the world in a single day, and you can be the poorest person of the world. Risk is very high. So do your homework. But there are many other points to consider. But okay, now but coming back to our technology. So this blockchain technology. So these are the point. These are three different important aspects which I wanted to share with you as far as this blockchain technology and the generation, or the creation of newer coins day by day. The reason behind it is. I hope that will be beneficial for you. So again, a word of caution that these are the points to consider. There are okay. One other thing is there are many blogs, video blogs, and blogs available. There are many information which is floating around internet, but never trust them blindly. Never trust them blindly, especially in a case where your money is at stake. If you're planning to invest, and then investment means risk. Risk is there, so how will you reduce that risk? How will you, by doing your research? So give it a thought before investing. Yeah, so that's it for now. Thank you.